Ever watched a performer show up to a gig and the sound system looks like it was borrowed from a school science fair? That is the moment you get to see real adaptability in action, and it happens way more often than people think. Event vendors, especially performers, live in a world where the plan on paper almost never matches the plan in the parking lot. Maybe the stage promised was 6 feet wide and it is actually the size of a welcome mat. So what happens when the tech requirements are not met? The performer does not throw a tantrum like a toddler who dropped their ice cream. They pivot, because pivoting is basically their whole job description. Let us say a DJ was told there would be 2 speakers and a working mixer, and instead, there's one speaker held together with duct tape from maybe 2015. That DJ starts thinking in seconds, not minutes, because the crowd does not care about your equipment drama. This is where something called contingency planning comes in, which is just a fancy way of saying you packed a backup plan like a sandwich you hope you never have to eat. Professional vendors often bring their own cables, adapters, and even backup speakers because assuming the venue has everything is like assuming your GPS always knows the shortcut. Think about a magician who needs a spotlight for the big reveal, but the venue only has one flickering light that looks like it is auditioning for a horror movie. Instead of canceling the trick, they might shift the whole routine closer to the crowd using phone flashlights from the audience, which honestly ends up feeling more magical anyway. There's a psychological piece here too, because performers are trained to project calm even when their brain is doing full panic math backstage. If the audience senses stress, the energy of the whole event drops, so staying steady is basically part of the performance itself. A live band without a working monitor system might switch to acoustic versions of songs, turning a technical failure into an intimate, unplugged moment that people talk about for weeks. Sometimes the broken plan accidentally creates the best memory of the whole event. Kind of like how a scratched vinyl record still sounds charming to some people. Adaptability also means knowing your gear well enough to troubleshoot on the spot, like a comedian realizing the microphone battery is dying and simply projecting louder while making a joke about it. That joke usually gets a bigger laugh than anything in their prepared set, because the audience loves watching someone handle chaos with humor. Event planners and clients sometimes underestimate tech needs, thinking a phone charger cable counts as full production support. This is a common misunderstanding, and experienced vendors usually clarify requirements ahead of time with detailed contracts, though even contracts cannot predict a breaker box that decides to trip at exactly 6:30 in the evening. History shows this is not new, since traveling performers hundreds of years ago dealt with rained-out stages and broken instruments long before anyone said the word technology. The tools changed, but the core skill of thinking fast under pressure has basically stayed the same since forever. Preparation is really the secret ingredient here, not luck. Vendors who survive tech disasters usually rehearsed multiple versions of their act, so when one version becomes impossible, they already have another one loaded and ready to go. There's also a business lesson tucked inside all this chaos because clients remember how a vendor handled a problem more than they remember the problem itself. A performer who stays flexible often gets rebooked, while one who melts down over broken equipment might not get a second chance. Some vendors even keep a small toolkit specifically for emergencies, with things like extra batteries, extension cords, and gaffer tape that could probably fix a spaceship in a pinch. It sounds simple, but that one bag has saved more shows than any expensive piece of equipment ever could. So next time you watch a performer breeze through a technical hiccup like it was part of the show, know that what you are really watching is years of practiced adaptability. You want to learn more about how event vendors handle these situations? Check out our links in the description.